Well, that's embarrassing. There we go. We turned it around so I can see everybody. You can see me. Hey, everybody. Just gonna invite Kristy. Invite. Kristy Michael joined the conversation. That's good. Hey, friend.
Wow, that was so easy.
That was very easy. Instagram knows how to do it. It's fine. Oh, good.
Yeah.
We'll give our friends a second. And if they don't come, we'll chat. People can watch it later.
Yeah.
I love it.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So good.
Welcome to my house in Thailand.
And
Adore.
welcome to my house in Chicago, my apartment. Sitting at my husband's desk, though, this is not usually the view you get behind me. Usually the view behind me is just a door. Embarrassing, because there's just a door behind you.
Well, it, I was advised to take it down.
We're all about professionalism here. It's fine.
Can't have those hats and bags hanging up in the background.
No, 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 no. No, no. Oh my gosh. Well, how about we start and our friends will join us, and then if they won't join us, they can watch it later.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Great.
First of all, though, let's talk about the time difference that's happening right now. Right now it is 7 p.m. Chicago time, 8 p.m. for all my Eastern friends. Oh, please, Kristy, tell us what time it is for you. Also, it's Wednesday, 7 p.m. my time.
Yes. So happy Thursday, everyone. Because it's Thursday at 7 a.m. here in Thailand.
Woo! We love time differences here. We love it. Oh, some of our friends are joining. Hey guys, we're so glad you're here. We're just talking about the time difference. It's fun. So I'm at the end of my day, which, as you can tell by the hair up, I'm done. I've done some home visits. I'm tapped out. But Kristy's just starting her day,
I
so
am, but I'm also faking it by wearing a shirt and sweatpants because that is the things you do on Zoom, Instagram Live, and all.
oh, it's so true though. Oh my gosh. It's good. We're back to doing this project in two different countries, very different time zones, but truly still no one else I'd rather do this with. Kristy, you're amazing. And something that we just wanted to do was this Instagram live series. We just wanted to share a little bit more behind the book, give a little bit more content from the book, just a little bit deeper in the chapters and the pause sections, because what we really don't want is for this book to just sit in a pile of books by your nightstand or on your shelf. We all have those books. If this happens to be that book in your bookshelf, that's fine. But we just truly do want this to be a resource and a tool that helps you grow in your relationship with the Lord and helps you take steps towards just dreams that you have, or just helps you find more courage in your everyday life. So our goal for this series is to help provide extra content like that, and maybe help get thoughts stirring in your own mind and heart, and yeah, just help stir some things along in you. So that's a little bit of the goal of this After the Pause series that we're going to be doing over the next few months, I think is what's on our calendar. So we'll be popping on once or twice a month, depending on schedules. But we will be popping on, saying hey, talking about some content. Something exciting that we are also going to be doing is we're going to be doing some giveaways. We're going to be doing some special discounts that if you watch this Instagram live, you'll get a discount. So actually we have a special promo code that we'll give at the end of this. So stay tuned. I've never been able to say that. I've always been on the other end when people are like, stay tuned till the end. And I'm like, well, okay. But stay tuned till the end. We're gonna have we're gonna have a really awesome promo code for you guys. We just appreciate you, and we want to get this resource into your hand, or into the hands of people that you love and care about so deeply. So without further ado, this week we're going to be talking about the introduction of A Place Called Braverly. Um, I love the introduction. I know I like barely read introductions to books. Kristy, are you an introduction person for books?
I miss, like, I'm an introduction skimmer, and
Yes.
then enough in it that really catches my eye, I'll commit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So if
It's
that
for,
was also you, yeah, if that was also you for this book, it's fine. That's me for other books. It's Kristy for other books. But we just wanted to tell you a little bit more, just a little bit behind the introduction because there's some gold, there's some gold nuggets in there, and just some things that we really love that we just wanted to make sure you guys didn't miss. So first, I just want to explain what Braverly is. We've had some questions like for people that aren't familiar with what Kristy is doing in Thailand or what I got to do when I was there. We just want to clarify something. So Braverly is a physical location in Mae Sot, Thailand. It's a training center. There's a sewing center and there's a cafe, and both sides employ different women. And we're right along the border of Thailand and Burma. There in Mae Sot. Kristy is literally there right now, and we're right on the border. And there's a lot going on. If you don't know the history of Burma, a quick Google search will tell you more than you ever wanted to know. But there's a lot of history there, a lot of stuff going on. But we get to work with a lot of women who have maybe come over from Burma, and we also get to work with Thai women as well. And just the mission of Braverly is to provide fair employment, some training for the women, just salary and stability for their families. And I absolutely love Braverly so much. We got to work there with the women for a little bit less than a year, and it was awesome. But Braverly's mission is to live brave, dream bravely, and influence bravery. And that phrase, that those phrases, I guess, that is really what spurred us on in this book project. Live brave, dream bravely, and influence bravery. They're these really amazing ideas. Like they sound awesome. Who doesn't want to do those things? But I think at Braverly, and something that we wanted to do in the book is figure out how do we do these things practically? How do we actually live these out? And so that's really what inspired the book.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, and in the introduction, I won't say it all so that people can pick up the book and read it for themselves. But we dive into one of the women's stories, and her name has been changed, but Chiwa, and just how she was one that has been with us from the very beginning of this all. And one of the things that we discovered after she came on board with us, and she kind of became lead baker for a season for us. And it wasn't long after that that we actually discovered that she'd always dreamed of doing something like that. She had always dreamed of being a baker. And she's so good at it, and she bakes things for her friends and neighbors all the time. And so to hear that once she was working for us, and just the amount of joy that came from her as she was sharing, like, this is what I've dreamed about, and like I'm doing it now, was such a beautiful thing. And this isn't in the book, but something just cool that's been a part of her journey. She's also a mom. She's got kids. Seasons change, and when COVID happened and schools closed, she had to get back home to be with them. But she recently, her and her husband opened up their own donut shop.
Oh,
And yeah, and that's like the full dream. Like when she told us she always dreamed of being a baker, but we knew that like she always dreamed of having her own shop. And here we are, fast forward, 5 years after, 6 years after the opening of Braverly. Braverly's going to be 6 this year. Uh,
yay.
yeah, and they have their own donut shop and are just doing it. And it's just such a beautiful thing. When we're talking about this idea of live brave, dream bravely, and influence bravery. I mean, I think we could pause on each one of them for endless amounts of time to really unpack what that is. But that whole concept of dream and what it's doing for the women here, but also what it's done for us, because we all have dreams inside of us.
Yeah.
And Kate, for you and I stepping into writing a book, like we each had dreamed about that separately. We never would have imagined that we'd end up doing this together. But even as kids, like dreaming to write a book someday. And look at what the Lord's done. Look at how as you continue to say yes and step into the places that he calls you, like he unlocks a little bit more of that dream. And it looks different for everybody. But I just think it's such a beautiful thing. So, but ultimately, to bring it back around again, full circle, um, not only, is it about the dreams that we carry, but one of the goals of this book is to fulfill a dream of seeing this resource available here in Thailand and Burma. Um, and what's been really cool, this is where I wish that you, Kate, could have been here for
Mm-hmm.
it. Sorry that you had to miss it. The joys of being 12-hour time difference apart. Um, is when I first got the English copies of this book, I was able to get a hold of some here. They're not available here in Thailand. We'll make that available in the future, Thai friends. Um, but I brought some books back with me and was able to show it to some people. And Chiwa was one of the first people that I showed it to. And oh man, I'm so glad someone took photos of this too. And like
Mm-hmm.
to see the excitement on her face as she flipped through the pages, and several of the youth that we work with were standing around and she just started explaining to them again, like, look at what this is, like, this is what it's for. This has been, a dream, and here it is in our hands. Um, and just such a cool moment of like seeing, like, that's what we set out to do,
Yeah.
is to not just you and I write a book, but to provide a book that would be here, which I'll go into a little bit more later, but I want to share another story. um so yeah, seeing the youth's faces light up, and like it turned into this moment too of like, what are you guys dreaming about, because your dreams, totally possible. Like, takes work, absolutely, and it feels really big right now, but like there's nothing that God can't open a door for,
Yeah.
So I think that's what's been really cool in this. And then showing it to some of our other office staff and Braverly women who've been involved in different parts of the process of the book, um, was just also a lot of fun. Every single time it's met with like, people grab it, they're holding it, and they're just like, and just them, it sets off dreams of like, oh my gosh, like I can't wait. We've got to get it to this place. We've got to get it to these people. Um, so it's just really beautiful. And that's been the true heart of why we set out to write this. It was never about telling people the story of a place that exists here in Thailand. It was putting together a resource for real women that we work with, and those that we haven't even met yet, but who simply don't have these kind of resources. As you shared at the beginning, like we all have like those stacks of books in our house, right? Like,
Yeah.
I have multiple bookshelves, even here, books on them that I just haven't read yet. But I have access to something like that. Like, we have these endless amounts of books in our language written specifically to us. And that's just not something that is easily found here. And that's really the true heart behind why we even set off to write this book, is we wanted to provide a resource that, I have got English versions here, yes, but we've been getting it translated. It's translated into Thai, into Burmese, still being edited. Um, and then eventually in the future to get it translated into Korean, to actually distribute to people here in Thailand, and let it be a book specifically written for women. Anyone can pick it up and learn from it. But it just talks about the heart of the Father and what it means to live out each of these things, which is a truly beautiful thing to be a part of.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. And it's been a minute since I've been in Thailand. Like everybody else, COVID just was COVID. I mean, at this point, let's just call it what it was. It was just COVID. And it locked me out of Thailand for a long time. And then there's been a lot of transition in my life. But so it's been 2 years, over 2 years. It's been over 2 years since I've been in Thailand. Just for all those reasons. But just even knowing what our good friend is doing, what Chua is doing, I want a donut. I want one of her donuts. I ship it to me. I don't know, man. I gotta have one of these. It's so cool though to see these dreams just get to come alive in these women, right? And we by no means are the like instigators of those dreams. We're not the ones coming in and like saying like, "Wow, it's amazing that you have this dream. Like, I'm gonna make it possible." No, like we just get to come alongside these women and we get to encourage them, like help them as we can. But you know, Chua and her family, they're pursuing this dream, and we are so honored that we get to come alongside and even just be a friend in the midst of this. Like, I absolutely love that. I love what God is doing in these women's lives, and what He's going to keep doing, like in the process of this book. Like Kristy said, we have it translated. It was always first and foremost for the women that we get to work with at Braverly, for the women in Thailand and Burma that we're connected with. And then God opened up this side door in the States. And now we're like hardcore, like in the middle of marketing and all of that stuff, right? So that is absolutely part of the dream. But first and foremost, it was always for these women. And so it's so exciting to see the translations come together. We're trying to figure out print right now. We have this dream of doing an audio book. So if any of y'all out there know anything about doing an audio book, please send us a DM. That's fine. No, but there's a lot of dreams that we have, and that is something that you know, this book isn't just about dreams. It's not just about, you know, pursuing a big dream that the Lord's put on our hearts. It is truly about, man, in our everyday, how are we choosing courage? How are we taking one step past fear, into the unknown and into that place that's where Jesus calls us on the waves, where we're like completely out of our element, but we're stepping where He's called us to. That is truly just the heart behind the book. And it includes dreaming bravely, it includes living bravely, and it includes influencing bravery in other people's lives and letting those ripples of courage just spread out into our community. And that is really like what the book is about. It's so much of our heart behind the book. And we're just excited to get to be a part of this with you all. Yeah.
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 Oh, good.
Yeah. And so in the future, when we do these amazing Instagram live, which thank you so much for hopping on, everybody. We're going to keep them to like 20 minutes because none of us have that long of attention spans anyways. So we're going to keep it short and sweet for you guys because we could talk for a really long time about things, as you can maybe tell a little bit, because we're a little bit passionate about this and we're excited about what God is doing. But we would love to have you guys join us on Wednesdays. Probably going to say Wednesday nights for my American friends. If you're in Thailand right now, Thursday morning, join us. Don't you want to do that at 7 a.m.? Come on. So the time could change a little bit. We could be hopping on here like plus or minus 30 minutes, but we'll always have some promos out there for you guys and a reminder to join us. We would love to have you guys join us. We'd love for you guys to send in questions that you have for us about the book, about Braverly, even about questions you have about courage or about what does it look like to even hear from God. We've had a lot of people ask things like that because in the book we talk a lot about, you know, I feel like God told me this, or I feel like God was telling, like, leading me this way. And we've had a lot of people just ask that really honest question of like, I don't think God talks to me. What does that look like for you? So even questions like that, we'd love to just dive into things like that with you. So please feel free to send in your questions. Join us as you can. These will always be on our profiles after we're done. But now for the moment you all been waiting for. I don't know if you can hear the drum roll. That was my very pathetic drum roll. That could be really awkward if you couldn't hear it, so that's good. But we would love for the next 3 days, we will have a special promo code just for you guys on Instagram Live, / if you watch it after the live. So the next 3 days, if you use the code IGLive10, all one word, IGLive10, you'll get 25% off your order. And if you run into any problems or you're like, I didn't catch that, send us a message. Be so fine. But yeah, again, IG Live 10 for 25% off your entire purchase. You could purchase like 10 books and get 25% off, or you can purchase one and get 25% off. But that is just for paperback, not ebook. Ebook is like $5, so good. But we are so grateful for all of you. Thanks for joining us. It's been awesome to see people hopping on and just joining us on this Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
Woo woo.
Woo
Yeah,
woo.
continued on another day.
Yeah, absolutely. Kristy, thanks for doing this on a pretty early morning for you. Yeah, I love you. I seriously, no one else I'd rather do this with.
Yeah, same friend. And thank you, everybody. Love you guys. You guys help make this all possible.
Oh yeah. Yep. All right, we'll catch you guys next time. If you have any questions, shoot either Kristy or I a message. We're excited to keep doing this with you guys. See you later.
Peace.